But this is our public meeting. The annual meeting is something we do every year about this time. And of course, last year we just haven't been able to do it. The year before as well. I'm going to share my screen, and here we go. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay. And what you're seeing now is just a few slides that I'm showing. This is our welcoming period. Just there we go. It's all right. I would just like to take a moment for all of us to realize the important work that we do. We are a nonprofit group. We're officially separate from the museum. The museum, Brush Squares, the city of Austin Parks and Recreation Department manages those very capably. We consider ourselves a partner, certainly a very good partner for the city of Austin, because we are the primary citizen group that advocates for the restoration preservation of the O. Henry Museum. And the foundation sponsors the programs. We make grants, and hopefully these programs are going to be in all of Austin, as well as the people who visit Austin. And we want to promote the legacies of our residents, O. Henry, who lived here in the 1890s, and also Susanna Dickinson, the survivor of the Alamo, who lived before O. Henry. And her home, as well as the O. Henry House, are located on Brush Square. And we hope to see that they would be considered museums and preserved for the benefit of all future residents and visitors to Austin. And our board of directors is a distinguished group of volunteers who have a passion for history. And last year, 2021, our officers considered myself, Beth Hudson, Karen Donsbot, Karen Trickolis, and we had directors Julian Ann Richter, Ev Lunning, Shannon O'Brien, Janice G., Stella Bromley, Joe Ramirez, and our most recent member, Buck Cole.
Recording in progress.
Okay, I'm going to admit someone to the visitors room. Who joined us? Let's see. Stella is in the house. Stella Bromley. Welcome, Stella. Let me continue. Stella is one of our distinguished directors, and she's about ready to join us. She's connecting with audio. She's still connecting to audio. I was hoping to say hi. There she is. Hi, Stella. Now she's muted herself. Let me continue quickly. I just also wanted to say that we welcome support from the public, and particularly we're happy to, if people are interested to join our board. The board members are appointed, or they can also join at the annual meeting. And we have a process of meeting with people. They fill out an application to give us a little more background information. We invite them to visit the museums, and we also ask them to attend a board meeting, and then we appoint them to our board. So that QR code is one that you can hold your iPhone up to, and the camera will take you to our Brush Square Museums. Well, actually, it will take you to a PayPal page where you can donate or become a member. And then we have our brushsquaremuseums.org Get Involved page, which allows anyone to subscribe to our mailing list. It also has some links to our Facebook page. It tells other information about our events. And we encourage you to visit our webpage, particularly because we just have a new article that Julianne Richter wrote about the pun-off in 2021. A very nice article, and it's the first thing that we've really had posted for quite some time. So this is we're going to add more information, I hope, in the near future. Let me stop sharing for just a moment to make sure we've got everybody here. And I think we're okay. Does anybody have any questions or things they'd like to mention at this point? Is my screen sharing?
I might mention the reason that Jim and I are in the same room is Vladimir Putin invaded his neighborhood and he's taken refuge over here at my house. He's cut off his internet service over there. Jim is going to be a guest at my house for the next couple of meetings.
Oh, well, great, Jim. For a minute, I thought maybe you were one of Gary's brothers that we've seldom met, but you do have a similar look and impression. Anybody else have something they'd like to contribute at this point? And otherwise, I'll go back to my sharing screen. I did want to also recognize, in particular, I'm sharing my screen again. We had some wonderful donations from Century Club members. Really, there's I don't want to leave anybody out, so I'm afraid of listing everybody, but in particular, Lyle Boardman, who became a Century Club member and has always contributed. He also was a participant in our auction, and he is a former Austin Stamp Club member, and he several years ago when we had the official United States Post Office stamp honoring O. Henry with his picture on it, he was able to design a first day cover. So I want to give a shout out to Lyle Boardman. I also wanted to give thanks to Ev Lunning, who is a board member but is often quite busy with things. He made a wonderful contribution, and we appreciate his continuing to stay with us. And Ev is a thespian of great renown and former teacher at St. Edward's Theater Department. In the past, we got to know him because he read some of the short stories for us as a recording, but also he came to some of our outdoor meetings and read things from O. Henry. So he brought a lot of expression and professionalism to our story reading. So Ev, shout out for Ev Lunning. And also, for the first time this past year, we had a memorial gift, which is, of course, very much appreciated. It was in honor of Andrew Hackard, who passed away, and his estate, people that cared very much about him, wanted us to know it, and he very much loved puns. So we appreciate that memorial gift on his behalf. Thank him and his estate. So the membership duties are very light, but we do have, and benefits are very light, I should say. We have an emailing list that we send out invitations, and anytime there's a special exhibit or opening at the museum, we try to let people know. Of course, that hasn't been very possible this last 2 years, but one of the ways that we support the museum is to make grants for refreshments, and sometimes we're able to have, we were having meetings there at the O. Henry Museum, the Susanna Dickinson House in the courtyard, and so we hope to let our mailing list know those events so they can attend. So that's a benefit of becoming a member. I just want to say a few more things before we move on and get closer to having Wendy talk to us. these were the program highlights from 2021. The fundraising that we did as part of I Live Here, I Give Here, the Amplify Austin campaign on March 4th and 5th, 2021. We did that for 2 years, and they offer an opportunity to publicize what we were doing. And we had donations of $350 through that fundraising. March 21st, we did have an annual meeting last year, and it was a virtual one. We had to postpone it because of the February big freeze, and so we moved it to March 21st, and it was called A Fool's Concerto, a combination of two stories by O. Henry, and we highlighted the important restoration of the square grand piano that has been at the O. Henry house and has now been fully and completely restored to a playable condition. And just a shout out to Gary and Michael Wenslow. We also had a number of other volunteers who did readings, and they were all recorded in a YouTube video, which is available to look at on YouTube. So it's it's more than 30 minutes long. I think it's closer to 40 minutes, isn't it? So I urge you to look for A Fool's Concerto on YouTube, and you'll be able to see that from last year. It was really a wonderful event. In April, I think our biggest accomplishment and use of our funds this year was a $5,000 acquisition grant that we gave to the City of Austin, the O. Henry Museum, so they could participate in an auction, online auction, where they were able to have the winning bid, and they purchased 27 Will Porter drawings that he did when he was quite young in Austin, and he made these drawings for a book which was not published. He didn't have a use for the drawings, and he gave them to someone, a neighbor or a friend of his, and they were saved, thank goodness. And someone put them up for auction. So we were able, with the city of Austin was able to purchase those, and I think we're going to hear some more from Wendy about how the progress in getting them completely restored and ready for presentation at the O. Henry House when it opens. Finally, or not finally, but in October, we had the O. Henry Museum Punoff World Championships, and we were coping again with the pandemic, and so we did make this as a virtual event, and it was online, it was live, October 23rd. There was also, for the punniest of show videos, there were 32 of those posted at Punoff 2021, and they allowed people to look at those videos and then could choose their favorites, and there were 3 that clearly had the most votes, and so they were the winners. The Punslingers Live was actually held at 2 different times on October 23rd. There were 16 participants. They went through round robin with various topics in a shootout fashion, and they chose the winners. And I think we might, if David wanted to say anything more about that at a later point, that'd be okay. We had over 1,500 people voting, and I'm sure that there were many more that actually took the time to look at the videos. And we also used that as a chance to have our very first online fundraising auction. Normally, when we raise our funds, it's at the Punoff, and we're outdoors in the park enjoying the Punoff. And we have usually an auction from the stage or a silent auction, and it's been very successful as a fundraiser. It's been our main fundraiser. Next, we'll have, I don't think Melissa's in the house. Maybe I should double check that. But we are very honored to be able to, and grateful to have had Melissa Parr, our senior curator for 9 years, to be our curator. And she has decided for her personal life and the fact that we all need to retire from the active work life. So she has retired as of February 1st. And Melissa, this has been a loss for us, but we are so happy for you to continue with your personal life, your grandchildren, and we are awarding you today this certificate that is framed, and I will arrange for it to be given to you either at the museum or we'll mail it to you. So let's have a round of applause for Melissa. And if she joins us, I hope we can talk with her. I'm going to stop sharing my screen just to make sure. Whoops, that's our next business. I don't think there's been any message. I certainly hope I didn't miss anybody wanting to come in. I think it pops up a message asking to admit people. I don't see any. Okay, just two more things. Let me share my screen again.
Clay, I posted a link for Rules and Chair in the chat if anybody wanted to capture that.
Oh, excellent. Yes. Yes. If you have a link or a document to share, you can go to the chat room, chat, whatever you call it, and it has a little symbol there. You can put something like an attached document, or you can copy and paste a URL. Ron, can you unmute yourself?
Yes.
We're so glad that you could join us. Tell us about the O. Henry Playhouse DVD series that you are preparing.
Well, the second printing of them just happened a week ago, and they print 1,000 at a time. So they've had commitments for the first 1,000, and they're stocked up so to fill future orders. And volume 2 is scheduled to come out on March 22nd. If you want to know which titles are in volume 2, then go to our website, which is ohenryplayhouse.com. I don't know if you can put that up on the screen. It's just the way it sounds, ohenryplayhouse, one word.com. And we have a list of all 39 episodes in the series there. And the first 13 that are in volume 1 that you're looking at the box cover on the screen now, we have previews of each episode there. So that's of interest to people, get them interested and see who the movie stars are in each episode, and get a glimpse of Thomas Mitchell, who portrays O. Henry in every episode. That's of, I think, special interest to every O. Henry fan. And then the third volume will be later this year, assuming that sales of volume 1 and 2 are sufficient. The company releasing this is Classic Flicks, and they spent a very large sum of money on restoring them to the original quality as they were originally shown on television in 1957. They did a remarkable job, but they did invest in a lot of money in that. So I'd like to thank everybody listening here on the board and at the museum for any help they can give us in spreading the word about this TV show, which many people didn't even know about until just recently. And I had never heard about it. I never saw it in 1957 and was completely unaware of it. It's a very, very fine series and has O. Henry himself, played by Thomas Mitchell, who's in every single episode. So I'd be happy to answer any questions about it.
Gary, you want to say anything? Michael, about the DVD?
Yeah, I just wanted to thank Ron for his great work on the, well, that feedback is annoying. I took over the O. Henry Reading Group in 2015 and started doing a lot of Google searches on O. Henry and became aware of an article which I put on the chat where Ron details how he came in possession of the
Hey, Clay.
so
Yeah.
yeah, how do we stop the feedback? That's a good question.
Yeah, I was gonna suggest you might want to exit the meeting and then have everyone restart it and have everyone re-enter in the hope that maybe we can stop the feedback, because the sound's actually getting worse as we go.
Oh, okay. All right. All right, let me stop sharing my screen.
It might help if everyone completely just leaves the meeting and then you stop it and then restart it and we'll rejoin, and hopefully it's gone. It's worth a shot.
Okay. Does that everybody? That seems pretty drastic.
I'm doing it.
Let me stop the recording here. Boing.
Recording stopped.
Okay. We'll edit all of this out. It'll be seamless without any technical glitches whatsoever. Okay, I'm going to end the meeting and restart it, and you'll all have to rejoin. My apologies. Is that okay? Everybody understand? And I hope this does improve it. We'll give it a go. Okay, bye.